Close to a start. The red light's flashing away. Stand by. About to jump over there at the 1100, off and running, and Mazzano came out running. It was the early leader. Morgan Miss got onto its tail, and there followed then by, going up around the outside at that point was Scarlet Sun. Dropping just back in behind those, then about a length or so away came Rustic Connections. Behind those was Presidential on the outside, and getting back along the rail, Pretty Tiara. Then a gap to Mr. Greedy, and winning again had dropped right out at the rear. 600 to go. Mazzano's the leader by a length and a half. The Morgan Miss and Scarlet Sun, it's outside. 2 lengths further afield, Rustic Connections and Presidential starts to go forward. They're followed back in behind those, Pretty Tiara. Mr. Greedy's a long way back, and tailed right out was winning again. Towards the turn, and Mazzano's going strongly as they run up past the 400 and commence to make the quarter. Morgan Miss went into second and came to the outside to try to give chase. Then a gap to Rustic Confections and Connections, then Scarlet Sun and Presidential. Mazzano's in front at the 200. It's 2.5 in front. Morgan Miss is second, and they're followed by Scarlet Sun coming down the outside, but the leader was Mazzano. He's going to do it easily again. It went to the post and won. Getting into second will be Scarlet Sun, just ahead of Morgan Miss, who weakened, then Presidential, followed by winning again, made up a lot of ground. Further back, Rustic Connections, Mr. Greedy, and Pretty Tiara didn't go on with it at all. It's ended up at the rear of the field. Well, Mazzano doing it with the minimum of fuss yet again, went to the front, dictated the tempo, was able to kick nicely clear at the 200. Morgan Miss launched a claim round. I doubt if there's going to be much improvement in it, in the way the weather radar map looks. Set now though, and they're away and racing, and gee, they came away in one line. Slight Glance got out quickly. It's going forward looking for the lead. Path to Freedom's also going fast. Deep Heat going quickly, and Zing and Zip out wide. Now just dropping back in behind those, then going back along the inside to get into a pretty good spot, Mac and Me. So it's going to settle back about 50 inside. They're followed by In the Jeans, who got over pretty well from that outside alley. Then Punter's Corner. Angelus Bell as well back, a long way back. Bella Spy. Agent E got right back along the rail. He is Loyal's coming to the outside to start to make up a little bit of ground, and also dropping well back into the field. Agent E there got chopped out and went right back to absolute last as they run up the side and make their way up to the 600. Path to Freedom was the pilot. It was just the leader as they go into the gloom there. Deep Heat goes up. Here's Loyal's making ground. Slight Glances going forward. Gee, they're coming everywhere now. Fast Love has been very wide out, but it's starting to come right around the outside, right out in the middle of the track as they turn into the straight, straightening up for the run of the judge. And here's Loyal, raced up on the outside and got the lead, but Fast Lover was coming out after it pretty quickly on the outside, and Fast Lover joined in quickly and ran to the lead, and Fast Lover races away. Angelus Bell's battling on well. Punter's Corner's coming home, but it's Fast Lover winning easily. Tight for the Miners. Angelus Bell, Punter's Corner the inside, and here's Loyal in between them. In the Jeans not far away. They're followed by Mac and Me out very deep on the track. Agent E. They're followed further back behind those. A good way back in the field came Bella Spy. Dropped well out of it. So did Slight Glance. And inside Tycoon Terror, ready, off. Slow to get underway in its Pumpkin, and have a look at Gran Torino. Just flew out of the barrier and went straight to the lead and led a length and a half the Phantom of the Warrior of the Opera. Such a Thing as third, and going up the fourth, Aquatorial's got into a good spot fourth. They're followed a couple of lengths back in behind those Talon Times. It's racing on the inside. Rockin' Appeals in the middle, and Stephen Got Evens out 3 deep. Then there's about 5 lengths back to Tycoon Terror, and also in its Pumpkin. Inside the 600, and Gran Torino, he's trying to just steady them up. He's a length in front of Phantom Opera. A length and a half to Such a Thing. With Aquatorial, it's outside, being asked to go. Now Rocket Appeal's going to get onto its back. It pushed out to make its run. Then Stephen Got Even. A gap to Talon Times, Tycoon Terror, and Annette's Pumpkin. Round the corner, Gran Torino's giving them something to catch. He's straightened up with a lead of a length and a half. Aquatorial now comes to the outside and now starts to savage the line. Oh, Aquatorial joined in quickly, speared to the lead, and Aquatorial goes down and wins it softly. Gran Torino second, Photo third, probably Stephen Got Even just from Phantom of the Opera. Rocket Appeal didn't finish it off. Tycoon Terror made a bit of ground. Then Such a Thing a long way back in the field behind those Talon Times, and Annette's Pumpkin is at the rear. Oh, gee, that really sprinted quickly when he asked it to go just after they straightened. And it quickly reeled in Gran Torino and went to the line pretty comfortably at the end to win. The red light goes on. We're ready to jump. set to go at Clifford Park. Already set, and they're racing this time. Coming away in a pretty good line. Primed actually began well, and it's going to go forward and be the leader at the moment. Now, Uncle Jen's going up, and so's Outback Grondit is right around the outside. Outback Grondit will go across and take the lead from Primed in second, and getting into third, Dusty's Felt. They're followed by Dance Floor Progeny, which is back on the inside. Further back on the field behind those, Uncle Jan now went back to about midfield. They're followed. They're starting to get a little bit hard to see down that back straight there. Grazer Rockin drifted well back towards the rear of the field, and also a long way back was Second Go. It's dropped back towards the tail. Masashi of Miko's absolute last, and White Phosphorus is about fourth last. Up the side, Outback Grand took off and went 4 lengths clear. In second spot now, being ridden along, Uncle Jan went through on the inside. Now going up on the outside, Primed had taken off to take on Outback Grond as they race around that bend. Trident's got the second. Uncle Jan got right up on the rail to third. Then Dance Floor Progeny. Further back on the field then came Grazer Rockin. White Phosphorus is a good way back with Second Go, and still Masashi Amiko is at the rear, but he's starting to unwind now. Now Prime looks to have taken the lead. Dance Floor Progeny is moving up on the outside of it as they disappear into the fog as they run onto the home corner. Prime did hit the front, but they're coming at it. Dance Floor Progeny and Grazer Rockin's joining in out wide. Prime's in front, coming down to the 200-metre mark. Dance Floor Progeny is trying desperately to get to it. Primed and Dance Floor Progeny. Prime's pulling out plenty. The favourite's kicking, and it's home. Prime beat Dance Floor Progeny, Grazer Rockin. Then came over on the inside was our Jan. Masashi of Miko made up a plenty of ground over the final part. They're followed further back on the field by Second Go. A good way back behind those came Outback Grond, which we can ride out of it, and Dusty's. Now Rocket Boots is 3.10. Still good overs for Show Us Gold. It's 5.90 Show Us Gold. In the ring it's into 3.80. It's very good overs, Show Us Gold, on the Tats Tote at the moment at 5.10. And number 4, Ellie Levy on Tats Tote's into 3.90 now. Now Nola's Romp's about to come forward. We'll have them just about being closer to being ready. Now Lady Oscar, I can see back behind the line. Jacobus hasn't come forward as yet. It's 10 out to 12, back to 11 Jacobus. There's Ellie Levy going into its position. Ellie Levy's gone in. It's been 8 into 5 in the bookmaker's ring. Now Lady Oscar is about to go forward. And a nice race here last start, Lady Oscar, number 8. At the moment it's 11.40. Now Ellie Levy's in. Lady Oscar's about to come up. Don't get much of a look at these. Fog has settled it over us again here. I get a bit of a look at them down the side to the first turn, then they do go into the gloom. You might be able to pick them up on the 800-metre camera then when they run around to there. So I can't see this lifting to any great extent in this race anyway. A Dark Court's right up on the inside. 3.40 to Rocket Boots. Ellie Levy 3.80, and still good overs Show Us Gold at 4.80. Camara is in line. The great and the good. We'll see that red light. There it is. It's really standing out. Red light goes on. Stand by for a start. They're ready to run, and they're away this time. Down on the inside, getting away pretty well was Dark Court. Going forward there towards the lead was Camara as they really go into the gloom now down the side. Back in behind those was Rocket Boots, and we just lose them there as they go towards the back straight. They'll be entering the back straight inside the 1,200-metre mark now, and Camara Camera was the one that did go forward early, and Dark Court was up there as well. Lady Oscar was looking to get into a position. The Great and the Good's behind them, but we've lost them along that back straight. As they go down the back, we might get a little bit of a look as they get to the 800 metre bend. And they get there now. The Great and the Good has gone forward, and it's actually gone to the lead. Ellie Levy is up there, and Dark Court's back nearer to the inside. They're followed behind those then by Jacobus. There's one taking off right around the outside at the moment. Lady Oscar's got back a bit into the field. Now Rocket Boots is well back. So too is Nola Romp, and Jacobus now lost ground back towards the rear. But the Great and the Good was the leader as they go round that next bend with about 600 to go. Now Show Us Goals going up about 4 and 5 wide, right around the outside of the Rocket Boots is getting onto its tail to come outside of this as they run up close to the turn now, and we'll lose them until they come into view down near the 200. But making the run out wide, they come into the straight, still no sign of the jet. Now they come back into view. They're right across the track. Ellie Levy's in front. On its out. Ellie Levy's just the leader. Ellie Levy's holding on, and Ellie Levy beat Lady Oscar, getting through on the inside to Sunny Stars run third, and then they go out of our view. Show Us Goal was back behind them. Rocket, they're ready to jump. Red Cashell's near the inside. Ready. They jump away this time, and Red Cashel did in fact jump out well. It was going forward towards the lead as they make their way down the side of the track, and Red Cashel's up there. A couple of others now starting to put some pressure into the race, and we can see there going forward, Set the Bar has gone to the front as they go towards the back straight, and it's Set the Bar who went out and took the lead, and it ran away to a good lead in front, but hard to distinguish the others. I think that's Devious Man that's gone through to run into second position behind it. Then there's a good gap further back of 2 or 3 lengths further away behind those. It's just a little bit hard to pick them up. We might get a better view as they come up towards the 800 now, and the leader bowling along out in front, getting away to a nice lead, Set the Bar. Now it is Devious Man in second. Cosy Rose is running third, then Red Cashel is back nearer to the inside. They're followed then by X1 who's improving ground. Shizazu goes around them. Johanna's Diamond's well back, so's Time for Indy and Winning Moments. Round the next bend now. Set the Bar's in front. He's taken Devious Man off the fence. It's going up. Cosy Rose, those going with it. It's going at it hard, and they got away from the rest of them coming on towards the home corner with about 450 to go. Cosy Rose went around the outside to join and go past Devious Man. So Cosy Rose sprinted hard on the turn and raced out about 3 lengths in front as they turn for home and run down towards the 200 metre mark. It's got a handy lead. Let's see who's going to try and come out after it, but Cosy Rose, nothing's going to get near it. Getting into second spot now is X1, but Cosy Rose out sprinted them and won easily from X1. Third home in the race then came Devious Man. They're followed by Johanna's Diamond, Set the Bar, Red Cashel, Time for Indy. Shizazu didn't do anything much, and Winning Moments is back at the rear.
Cosy Rose, big odds, 13, 40 and 3.
Can be in this. They've all gone into line, but it's been a big blower and it's paying big on the tote. Nature Bites. Light on, ready to go and racing this time. Typhoon Red wasn't brilliantly away, and Tingle won the start. It went to the lead from Raining Magic. Now here he goes. Typhoon Red zooms up on the outside, goes to second. Running in third, Luck from Above, Skillful Pat, and down on the rail, Raining Magic. Then a gap of a length and a half or so to Cards and Owls inside Strata Title. Now Casse Scorette didn't show any speed tonight. It's fourth last. Palace Sequels with it. On Ice Now's next to last, and now dropping back through the field. Palace Sequel went down to the tail of the field, and Nature Bites is third last. It's running third last. At the side, and Typhoon Red bowling along in front. It got away 2.5 to Tingle. About a length the Raining Magic, a half the Skillful Pat. 2 to Cards and Owls. Strata Title is coming to the outside, making a bit of ground. Casse Scorette's looking for a run. Nature Bites taken to the outside. Pouring rain, and Typhoon Red had put a good gap in them. It turns for home. It led the way by 2 or 3. Now Raining Magic's getting up on the fence and trying to come out after this leader. Typhoon Red in front, looking around a bit, and Tomazawa had to go for the whip, but it won't matter. Have a look at him go. He's raced away, Typhoon Red, and buttled in. Skillful Pat got seconds. Casse Scorette got third, and fourth in was Raining Magic. Then Strata Title, Palace Sequel, Tingle finished well back. Further back in the field then came Cards and Owls. Nature Bites was just up ahead of those. They've followed a good way back in the field. In second last spot will be Luck from Above, and tailing off at the rear On Ice Now.
Now, thanks to Pat O'Shea on a top job there, and Typhoon Red, never in doubt. 180 and 140 got the money. 5 skill.